CAVE stands for Cave Automatic Virtual Environment. You have 4 walls where the virtual world gets presented on, and the audio system that also creates a virtual audio surroundings. And you basically have the same experience as with a virtual reality headset, except for one thing. We can do it together.
So the original brief was to create a sound system that would allow for sound objects to be moved with high precision in a virtual world in 360 degrees. And as the project progressed forward, we started developing more and more techniques around that to bring virtual acoustics to life, to have immersive environments, to be able to navigate through a virtual world like the world you see right now. And it just grew from there into this massive custom software project.
Genelec Smart IP system, meaning that all these loudspeakers are connected directly to a Dante network, and that is just a tremendous improvement over what it was before.
I was recruited for this to come up with a solution for immersive audio for this virtual reality cave, with the goal to basically create a sound system that is almost indistinguishable from standing in a real environment.
So when we started the cave, we had nothing. There was no example in the world that we could actually use. So rather trivial questions. How large should it be? It needs to be small enough to be immersive, but it should be large enough to hold enough students. Do we want to make it in a square case, or do we want to have sort of a dome? We said, well, a square would be better because you can have more students and taking advantage of the environment. Do we want to have floor projection? Well, for one person that would be great, but for group dynamics it would be pretty bad. So Maarten Hoorde and I sort of worked out, we together developed it, Maarten on the technical side, and when Maarten said, so what do you think about educational purposes or research purposes? I basically said, well, this would be great, but it's probably not possible. And Maarten said, well, let's see.
As you can see here, we basically chosen to build 2 caves with a inside-out projection. There are a few challenges, one of which is the acoustics. Number 2 is having the biggest screens possible. And of course, one of the other challenges is how can I create a spatial audio design behind screens instead of in front of screens, because of course my speakers cannot be in the room itself.
We have 42 Genelecs and 2 subwoofers in a relatively small space. It's only 5 meters. And we came to that number of 42 because we calculated how many speakers we would need to fill in a continuous phantom image everywhere you stand in the room, from every angle and every position. So no matter where you are in this room, you always get an enclosed phantom source. And we use live tracking, using the Opti trackers there to also dynamically move the sweet spot of the listener to make sure that you are never out of the immersion.
With the IP speakers we were able to make a more clean install, to make it more cheaper, make it more manageable than we would have had when we had to do it the classical way of putting all the wires and then testing everything. And so it's basically a much more simpler approach to creating a spatial audio system.
This is not only an AV installation, this is a research laboratory, and by having Genelecs here we can create an acoustically blank canvas, which is vital for conducting any type of experiment. So it's best of both worlds, I would say. You got the cinematic power when you need it, but you also have scientific accuracy if you need it.
We probably don't have all the answers, but if we put our minds together, we might come up with the best answers. So that's how we approaching Genelec. Now that contact worked out really well, and we're really glad that we have the speaker system that we currently have in both caves.
Da-da-dum.